what had impurities in it.
Okay.
And that's always been a question I always had. Why did their carbon have impurities in it? The Germans are great at chemistry and technique. I believe the carbon was intentionally made impure with impurities on purpose, so that they would not, whether it was some German scientists or whoever was making the carbon, I didn't want them to develop a nuclear reactor.
So you think it was an inside job?
Mm-hmm. Why the carbon, the graphite, had impurities in it. Now, what the Japanese were doing were wanting to build a nuclear reactor for their submarines before us, because they were running out of fuel for their submarines towards the end of the war. And they have the whole Pacific Ocean to cross, and they were going to attack the Panama Canal, for example.
Oh. So
they were trying to, their nuclear program was to develop nuclear reactors for submarines.
Interesting. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, there's a lot of history out there.
Yeah, that's yeah, because what were they using before? Diesel? Was it diesel engines?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I know that. I mean, I think they used diesel engines for quite a long time, up until, I want to say like Bill Clinton's time, maybe.
You're right.
Yeah, somewhere in there. But so anyway, we'll probably bounce back and forth between that. Totally fine.
But so then I went to Vietnam
in 70.
Yeah, and so I got over in February of 1970. I got to Vietnam. I sent my paperwork over to the EOD unit, the 533rd Control, so that they knew I was going there, because I heard stories about people going to Vietnam and their EOD, and they're trying to reassign them to some other unit.
Oh, okay.
So I sent it to, they knew. So when I went to the replacement station, I flew into Vietnam on a commercial carrier. It was a Boeing 707 Trans-Caribbean Airlines.
You flew in there with all your military gear?
Yeah,
on a civilian aircraft.
On a civilian 707. So as we're flying in, it's at night, and looking down at Vietnam, I expected things like World War II, everything be blacked out at night and stuff. Yeah. There was just lights everywhere. Everything. It was just, we landed at Bien Hoa.
Oh, you landed in Bien Hoa?
Yeah, we landed, and then we bussed over to Long Binh to go to